Hi students, in today's section we discuss about transistor as an oscillator. In previous videos we discuss transistor acts as switch and transistor as an amplifier. Now in today's section transistor as an oscillator. Okay, so first of all we would like to know about what is an oscillator. Oscillator is an electronic device which produces electrical oscillations. This electrical oscillations also called as electromagnetic waves, okay, of constant frequency and amplitude without requiring any external input signal. So it is also one of the electronic device like amplifier. It is also device which produces the electromagnetic waves of constant frequency and amplitude. Understand? Now, how this transistor works as an oscillator. Let us discuss. For this one, we need some basic concepts from the last chapters. Understand? So let us discuss all these points. So first of all, take an uncharged capacitor which is connected to a battery whose potential difference is V. Okay, this is an uncharged capacitor of capacitance C. Whenever you connected a capacitor with a battery, then we know this battery supplies the charges and finally the capacitor is fully charged. Now the charge on the capacitor is taken as Q naught. Okay. Now the energy in the capacitor has one formula we discussed in the capacitance chapter. U is equal to Q naught square by 2C. Okay. This energy stored as electrical energy in the capacitor. This energy is always stored as electrical energy in the capacitor. That's why I may written as E. E represents the electrical. Understand now? Let equation number 1. Clear? Here we take one uncharged capacitor which is connected to a battery. Now the capacitor is completely charged. So the charge within the capacitor is stored in the form of electrical energy, has a formula of Q naught square by 2C. Okay. Okay. So now the capacitor is fully charged and it has an energy of UE, that is Q naught square by 2C here. Okay. This fully charged capacitor is now connected in parallel with an inductor. Okay, we know the symbol for inductor is L. Fully charged capacitor now connected in parallel with an inductor L. Then what happens? Listen carefully. Whenever the capacitor is connected to the inductor, then capacitor begins to discharge. Capacitor begins to discharge. This causing current I. This causing current I. Understand? Now, as I increases, then it build up the magnetic field around the inductor. So within inductor, magnetic field is built up. Clear? Understand? So here the electrical energy of the capacitor, okay, is now decreases. Why? Because some current is passes through it now. Capacitor is discharged or not. So during discharge, the electrical energy within the capacitor is decreases. We know from law of conservation of energy, energy neither created nor destroyed, no, but it may transfers from one form to another form. Here, what is another form? Within the inductor, This energy is stored as within the inductor. This energy is stored as magnetic energy. So what happens? UE decreases, UB increases. Understand now? Now, after some time, what happens? After some time, the energy stored in the capacitor completely becomes zero. Okay, so UE is zero. Then here the magnetic field around the inductor reaches maximum value. Maximum value means like this. So what happens? The entire electrical energy of the capacitor now converted into the magnetic energy of the inductor. Is it clear? So the formula for the magnetic energy stored in inductor is half L I naught square. Okay, initial current is I, maximum current is I naught. At the time of maximum current, capacitor is completely discharged. There is no charge on the capacitor. Clear? So here what happens? The total electrical energy of capacitor now converted into the total magnetic energy of the inductor. Clear or not? Now, across the inductor, some potential is developed. This is called induced EMF. What we call induced EMF. Clear now? Due to this induced EMF, what happens? Now, UB is there now. One moment. Sorry. Now, the magnetic flux linked with the inducting coil is decreases. Magnetic flux linked with the inductor coil is decreases. That means UB now decreased. Whenever UB decreases, this will be stored as electrical energy in the capacitor. But in this case, the polarities of the capacitor are reversed. So here positive charge now developed. If it is positive, in this direction, negative. Understand now? So flux decreases continuously. When magnetic flux decreases continuously means the value of UB decreases continuously. When UB value decreases, UE value increases. Understand now? So after certain time, the total magnetic energy within the inductor is becomes zero. Okay. So whenever this UB value is zero, here again the electrical energy stored in a capacitor reaches maximum. So capacitor now again fully charged. Are you understand now? So again we got the electrical energy within the capacitor. Okay. So this is called LC circuit. It is also called as tank circuit. Understand? Listen carefully. Initially, capacitor is completely charged. It has electrical energy. Okay. Now, capacitor is connected in parallel to the inductor. Then, from the capacitor, charges are discharging. Due to this, it causes some current. Around the inductor, magnetic field is developed. Clear now? So, this magnetic field creates the magnetic energy. It is stored as magnetic energy within the inductor. That value is half Li square. Clear? So capacitor is continuously discharging. When capacitor is continuously discharging, inductor magnetic field is increasing. Whenever magnetic field increasing, UB value also increases until it reaches the maximum value of Li naught square. At this time, capacitor is completely discharged. Okay, now this magnetic energy creates an induced EMF across the inductor. From that, now UB continuously decreases and charge on the capacitor will be increases continuously, but the polarities are in opposite direction. Is it clear? Until that UB becomes zero, now the total energy again stored as the electrical energy in the capacitor. So what happens here? Capacitor is charging, discharging, charging, discharging. That's why it produces an electrical oscillations in this way. It produces electrical oscillations having certain frequency, constant frequency. F naught is equal to 1 by 2 pi under root LC. Okay, it has a constant frequency. Here L is what? Inductance, C value, capacitance. Clear now? So this output will be coming due to charging and discharging of capacitor. Is it clear or not? Okay. But practically what happens? Practically, this conducting wire offers some resistance now. Capacitor, inductor also offers some resistance. Due to this resistance, the output is not coming like this. The output waveform is in this way. So as time increases, the amplitude of the current or voltage is gradually falls. Understand? As time increases, the amplitude will be falls down. Okay, and after some time it is dies. Okay, this type of oscillations we observed in the first year oscillation chapter. These oscillations called as damped oscillations. These oscillations called damped oscillations. During damping, what happens? The electromagnetic waves which are produced due to this LC circuit are travel a small distance, after that it dies away. Okay, but our requirement is undamped oscillations. Our requirement is undamped oscillations. If this type of electromagnetic waves are created, then they can travel a long distances now. It may useful for us. That's why what is our main aim? Our main aim was these undamped oscillations now converted into the damped oscillations. That is very, very important. That indicates, for example, it reaches maximum value now. That value can you taken as, for suppose, plus 10 volt. So initially it is at plus 10 volt. Listen carefully. Then this is maybe 9 volt. This is maybe 6 volt. This is maybe 2 volt. So what is your duty? Initial input voltage is 10 volt. Now this wave input now increases up to 10 volt. So here at 9 now we would like to improve up to 10 volt. Okay, here it is 6. So you would like to increase up to 10 volt in positive direction and then negative direction. Here it requires up to 10 volt, means it requires 8 volt there. In opposite direction also 8 volt. Are you understand? Until that you supply the voltage, to get the undamped oscillations. Is it clear? This is possible by the feedback circuit. Okay, that is the second point. So what is the first point? LC circuit. This LC circuit produces the damped oscillations. Our aim is to produce the undamped oscillations. In order to get the undamped oscillations, we are using the concept of the feedback. Okay, understand? Note it down. So the second point is feedback circuit. In feedback circuit, we may consider one amplifier. We know amplifier is a device which increases the strength of the weak signal. Okay, for suppose it increases the strength by double. Increases strength of the input signal by double. Means if you take 1 volt, then if you passes through the amplifier, it becomes doubled, means 2 volt. Okay, what is feedback? Feedback that indicates some fraction of output is again fed back to the input. What is feedback? Fraction of output is again fed back to the input. That means now this 2 volt will be fed back to the input. So input voltage has plus 1 now it is added another 1. For suppose it is now becomes 2 volt. Amplifier makes it double. That means now the voltage is plus 4 volt. Now the plus 4 volt will be coming here. Okay, let it will be 4 volt. Now 4 volt now becomes into the doubled, means 8 volt. I understand. So in this way, the voltage again fed back to the input. Voltage or current, no issues. So this process is called as feedback circuit. In this way, the voltage is increases. See here, this voltage is increases until we need only this portion. This is called saturation limit. The process is called saturation limit. For suppose the input voltage is 10 volt, if you take, okay, then this will be increases up to 10 volt only. After that there is no use. Understand? If you give negative voltage here, minus 1 volt. If you give minus 1 volt, then what happens? Now it becomes minus 2 volt. Amplifier is duty is just increase the strength. If you have given positive, increase the positive signal. If you give the negative, then it increases in the negative direction. Understand now? Now this minus 2 volt here becomes minus 4. This minus 4 now again fed back to the input. It becomes minus 8 volt. This minus 8 volt given to the input. In this way, in negative direction also it is increases until it reaches the maximum limit called cutoff limit. Are you understand? So in feedback, what is the main purpose of using the feedback? Here, damping oscillations are observed to increase the strength of this damped waves from initial value to initial value. Some fraction of output is fed back to the input of amplifier, then voltage or current is increases. Are you understand? So this is the feedback circuit. Okay, in feedback is in phase with the input. Okay, it is phase with input signal. It is called as positive feedback. Okay, if suppose the feedback is opposite phase with the input signal, then it is called negative feedback. But for oscillator, we require only positive feedback. Positive feedback means the output is always in phase with the input. Clear na? Feedback is in phase with the input signal. This is the second point called feedback circuit. Now the third one is the mutual inductance. Okay, in order to understand the mutual inductance, let us take one soft iron cylinder here. We know the soft iron cylinder has high permeability. Okay, for that I would like to consider one soft iron cylinder, and here I take two coils P and Q which are wounded on the cylinder. Coil P contains a battery and a tap key. Coil Q is connected to a galvanometer. We know the galvanometer is device which is used to measure the current now. Understand? Now, this tap key gets tapped. This is closed. This key is now just closed. Whenever the key is closed, what happens? Current starts flowing through the coil P. When K is closed, current is passes through the coil P. Then magnetic field developed in the coil now. We have one formula, B is equal to mu naught Ni. So whenever current is increases, magnetic field is also increases. So current increases means magnetic field developed in the coil P. Clear? This change in magnetic field creates change in magnetic flux in the secondary coil. Okay, change in magnetic flux in the secondary coil, because we have one formula for magnetic flux. Magnetic flux has a formula B. If B changes, magnetic flux changes, but this magnetic flux changes occurs in the secondary coil. Understand now this change in magnetic flux produces the induced EMF in the circuit from Faraday law. From Faraday law, E is equal to minus d phi by dt. So magnetic field changes in P produces magnetic flux changes in the secondary coil. Whenever the flux changes, induced EMF is developed in the secondary coil. So whenever induced EMF is developed, okay, then current is passes to the galvanometer. Whenever current is passes to the galvanometer now deflects. Understand? So if you gets tapped the key, immediately galvanometer shows deflection. If open the key, again galvanometer shows the deflection. Are you understand? This is the concept of mutual inductance. One more time. When key is closed, current is passes through the coil P, then it produces the magnetic field. The change in magnetic field produces change in flux in the coil Q by the formula phi is equal to Ba. Whenever there is a change in flux, it produces an induced EMF E. This induced EMF is produces or generates the current I. That current is passes through the galvanometer. I understand. So three important points, important concepts until now we discuss. One is LC oscillations. The second one is feedback circuit. Now the third one is mutual inductance. Understand? Now by using these three concepts, we can go to the original concept called oscillator. Okay. Please note it down. So for explanation of oscillator, consider one NPN transistor, okay, in common emitter configuration. Okay, NPN, we know the arrowhead always indicates the emitter na? So this is emitter, it is collector and it is base. Okay, in the previous videos also we discussed about the common emitter configuration. In common emitter configuration, base and emitter, in between the base and emitter we can take the input, in between collector and emitter parts we can take the output. Okay, for transistor make in active state, base emitter junction is always in forward bias. Forward bias means the P side of the transistor is connected to the positive terminal of battery. Okay, and this is called base source voltage. We know this one. And Collector is always connected in the reverse bias, means N side is connected to the negative terminal of battery. Sorry, reverse bias na? Reverse bias means positive terminal of battery. Okay, this is called VCC. VCC means collector source voltage. Okay, so VBB and VCC are always maintained transistor in active state. Understand now? Let us take one key here. That key is called as K. Understand now? Now, in the input side, you may take one inductor which is connected in parallel with a capacitor. Okay? Inductor connected with parallel with capacitor. That means nothing but LC circuit or tank circuit you may given. And here you may take one inductor. That inductor is called as L dash. Okay. Now these L dash and L are wounded over the soft iron cylinder. Okay. For understanding purpose, I may draw like this, very nearer to it. Are you understand? Now the output is taken across another inductor here. So across this you can take the output. Are you understand? This is the circuit diagram for the oscillators. Okay. So we are considering one NPN transistor in CE configuration. VBB VCC or gives the proper biasing for the transistor to make the transistor in active state. In input side, we considered one LC circuit. In output side, the capacitor is connected to another inductor called L dash. Okay, we are taken one tap key K here. Clear? Now listen very carefully about the working of the oscillator. Until now what we discuss is everything is for explanation of this portion only. So concentrate properly about the working. Understand? Do one thing. First, key K is gets tapped. Gets tapped means this key is now closed. Whenever the key is closed, this is the positive terminal na. From the positive terminal of battery, current IC is developed. This IC is now coming to the inductor. Okay, we know in inductor when current is passes, then what happens? Magnetic field is always developed here. Okay, so within the inductor L dash, due to IC, a magnetic field is developed. Understand? Okay, now this magnetic field due to mutual inductance creates a change in magnetic flux in the inductor L. Try to understand here. From positive terminal of VCC, when key is pressed, collector current is passes through the inductor L dash. Okay, whenever current is passes through an inductor, it creates the magnetic field. Okay, this magnetic field due to mutual inductance, here flux is changes in the coil L. Flux changes occurs in the coil L. Whenever flux changes, what happens? Induced EMF developed. So here it becomes positive and here it becomes negative. Whenever it is develops or generates the induced EMF, due to this, it is like a battery now. Or understand, is called as a pseudo battery. Due to this, capacitor now becomes charged. Okay, here the positive plate of the capacitor, sorry, the upper plate of the capacitor is gets positively charged. Okay, so whenever the capacitor upper plate is positively charged, listen carefully, then we know in between the base and emitter junction, this VBB always maintain forward bias na. In between base and emitter, the input is always in forward bias or not? Okay. Now capacitor is also gives the positive potential na. This is positive potential. This is also positive. So what happens here? During this process, the forward bias voltage means VBE increases. Positive bias voltage nothing but VBE increases. Whenever VBE increases, then current IB increases. We know the relation in between the VBE and IB. If VBE increases, IB also increases. From the output characteristics of the transistor, we particularly mention a small change in the base current produces a larger variation in the collector current. Now, that's why if IB increases, IC increases. Okay, one more time. The positive potential of the capacitor is increases the forward bias voltage VBE. When VBE increases, IB increases. This IB increases, then a larger variation occurs in the collector current IC. So IC increases now. If IC increases, magnetic field which produce along L dash increases. Magnetic field increases, flux across the L increases. Flux across the L increases, induced EMF is increases. Whenever induced EMF increases, the charge on the capacitor is increases. Clear now? So the charge on the capacitor now increases. Whenever charge on the capacitor is increases, what happens? See here, the value increases until it reaches the saturation limit. It reaches the saturation limit. At this limit, what happens? IC becomes constant. At saturation limit, current IC always remains constant. Understand? Now, whenever current is constant, it produces constant magnetic field. Whenever magnetic field is constant, flux is constant. But here the formula is change in flux. Flux constant means induced EMF now becomes 0. Induced EMF 0, which indicates that here there is no magnetic field lines. Understand now? Is it clear? So at this place, there is no magnetic field across the inductor, but capacitor is completely charged now. After reaching the saturation limit, capacitor is now completely charged. Whenever capacitor is completely charged, in LC circuit we explained, if it is completely charged, is connected to the L, what happens? The capacitor now gives current through the inductor, which passes current through the inductor now. So discharging capacitor takes place. Whenever discharge of capacitor takes place, we said in the LC circuit, the polarity of the plates are interchanged now. Now, the lower plate becomes positive charge. Lower plate becomes positive charge. Whenever lower plate becomes positive charge, properly see, the voltage across the VBE is controlled by VBB now. That is called forward base voltage. the forward base voltage. Now, due to the negative potential of the capacitor, due to negative plate of the capacitor, this value is decreases. Whenever forward bias voltage decreases, VBE decreases. If VBE decreases, IB decreases. If IB decreases, IC also decreases. So, when IC decreases, magnetic field around L dash is decreases. When magnetic field around L dash decreases, flux linked with the coil L is decreases. Whenever the L value is decreasing, induced EMF is developed. So now again we can get the charges here. Okay, it again develop the induced current here. Are you understand the process? Clear? So in the first case, IC increases, then magnetic field around L dash increases due to mutual inductance, EMF induced, capacitor is charged until capacitor is completely charged. Okay, this process is continuous. Whenever the capacitor is completely charged, means these all the electromagnetic waves reaches the saturation limit here. Whenever they reaches the saturation limit, then the increase in the collector current is stopped. It reaches the maximum value. When IC reaches maximum value, at that place capacitor is fully charged. Understand? So flux variation is not there. Whenever flux variation is not there, induced EMF is 0. Induced EMF is 0. Now capacitor start discharging. During discharging, what happens? The polarities of the both plates will be changed. Now the lower plate has the positive charge. This doing the forward base voltage decreases. When forward volt decreases, VB decreases, IB decreases, IC also decreases. So IC is continuously decreases until decreases, it reaches the cutoff limit. Understand? So what you got? Across the output, we got one undamped waves. These undamped waves are called as electromagnetic waves or electric oscillation. Electrical oscillations are electromagnetic waves. This is about transistor as an oscillator. Clear? Thank you. Please note it down.